Ethan's mom, your mom.
And I'm your dad.
I was planning on going up alone.
I didn't really want you to drive that long without, or 14 hours without anybody else helping. So, and I wanted to see what was going on because it's history, and I wanted to see what it was like. And I'd seen all your videos and your documentary, but I still had no idea what it would really be like when I got there.
Yeah, you had a take on it that was kind of radical as far as what your thoughts are about police and defunding and all that. Okay, let's go see what you're talking about.
We had our helmets on, and we had sent our locations to each other. Like, did those things seem excessive to you at the time?
I actually did think it was a bit excessive, and you know, you as we're driving up wanting to write the phone number for the lawyer on my arm, and I'm going.
Not that we didn't believe you,
right.
But we just thought that you're a passionate young guy, and you know, you may take things in a different way that we would take them.
We hear the police voice.
In like 1984.
This is the police. Southwest 3rd Avenue remains open to vehicular traffic. Move to the sidewalk or into the park. Do not remain in the roadway.
People were out of the street, and it was actually the voice telling people to get out of the street that brought people into the street.
Yeah.
What did the police want? If their goal is there to not to be riots and to be peaceful and to allow the protesters their space, pretty simple.
Stand back.
Okay. A lot of police. Get ready, man. You're not right. You're not right. Where a wall at? We need a wall right here.
They're holding batons. They're lugging big canisters of tear gas, and they just stood in front and stared. You know, like put a foot on the curb and see what happens.
Why we here? Black Lives Matter. Why we here? Black Lives Matter. Why we here?
My experience interacting with them is slightly different from your experience. Did you feel respected by the police?
No, I did not. I was talking to them. I mean, around people are saying, people are cursing and yelling, and I wasn't. I was saying, why would you do this? You know, how can you be a part of this? This is wrong. This is wrong that you're doing this. I have sons your age. Well, how could you be doing this to people who aren't doing anything wrong? And, you know, they just stand there. The younger women, there were a couple of women who were laughing in our faces. The men were just looking, you know, tough.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a race. And then this is the terrible thing. A mentally ill or homeless kid, you know, kind of wandered out. He was clearly out of his mind. And they took him down so viciously. And, you know, and the whole crowd was screaming, he's not with us, leave him alone. Didn't matter. And then a young woman stepped out, and I don't know if she was trying to intervene. I'm not sure how she ended up. But 5 cops are on top of this single young woman, hurting her and putting her hands behind her back.
Hog-tying her.
As
Face
people,
into the earth.
As people scream for them not to do it. And that, for me, I mean, there was no possible justification for it.
Get out of the street now! Get off of her! Children are very proud! Very, very proud of you!
And I kept saying, is this America? That's all I could think is, this is not supposed to happen in America.
Get out here,
ugly ass fucking fat bitches! You pig ass bitches! Fuck you, you smart fucking ass bitch! Why are you?
Did you guys feel scared?
No, actually, it's really interesting. I felt adrenaline, but not fear.
For the whole evening before that, I felt nothing but shock. I was just stunned that it was happening like this.
Get off of her!
George
You fucking bitch! You literally are the biggest bitch ever! Watch this shit! Day after day! And you don't take this!
All the arrests were violent.
Yeah,
they were not like,
they were as
come
rough
here,
as they
turn
could
around,
be.
I'm going to arrest you.
No,
it was
they were
thrown to the
vicious.
fucking ground, and this girl, five cops on this girl.
Yeah, knees on her back,
Awful.
her face in the pavement, and then, you know, wrenching her arms behind her to put the ties on her. They were as cruel as they could be with everything they did.
Thank you.
Get the fuck off of her!
The whole thing is a provocation.
Right.
That's the biggest piece that I walked away from, was that is that the intent by the police in that moment was to provoke this group. That was clear.
Why did you do that? What are you doing? You scared? You scared? Please stay your ass.
The contempt, you feel their contempt and their disrespect for American citizens. I knew in my head that so much of the violence is being fomented by the police. I knew that. But to see it right in front of you is something else.
It came from that side, drove this way to fucking trap protesters.
Protect our people! DRS! DRS!
Not limited to tear gas or impact weapons.
It must have cost so much money to have that many police and that many vehicles out there and that much equipment. I'm not from Portland, but the people there, most of the people there were from Portland. I thought, they paid for all of that. They paid for that whole show and that equipment, all that riot gear. To have this done to them, it's not right.
Everything you're wearing belongs to the taxpayer! Everything, the bed! Even your fucking canine!
People on the left side, they're grateful for us to have been there, and they're grateful that we witnessed and been part of it and understand. But there's a lot of people that didn't comment. A lot of people that didn't ask me about it. And it's very interesting for me to close people too, and
Because it's too radical.
Yeah.
To have this opinion is too radical about what you saw before your own eyes. Yeah.
People assume that there must have been some provoking. I know you've had conversations with a couple friends.
It's very funny. A lot of people sort of pulled back.
Okay, where we go? Pull them back. Get off of him!
The first time your mom and I heard defund the police, we went down to for city council. There was a debate, and there was 5 different candidates
In Los Angeles.
in Los
Yeah.
Angeles. And who's
This
that
is for
guy?
District 10. Mark Ridley Thomas.
Mark Ridley Thomas, who we hate. There's this one guy who's there, and he's
Bus Riders Union.
bus
The
rider.
head of the bus
Yeah,
riders.
he's awesome. You hear him, and then he's talking, and you go, I don't know if this guy's ever gonna win, but he's grounded. He's coming from a place of serving people. You understand? And then he goes, and we have to defund the police. And
we both went, as he's on the top.
come on.
That was the first time we ever heard that
This is-
expression.
And
when was it?
8 months ago.
February, maybe?
Yeah,
It might have been February. Yeah.
And so we're like, okay.
Nothing wrong. We have done nothing wrong.
Hey, be careful with them!
Why?
You stupid!
What did I do? Why?
Let him go! Hey! You're gonna be all over the place! You should be fucking insane! Let him go! Let him go! Let him go! Stop! Stop! Stop it! Stop it!
As time has gone on and what's happening, we've learned that 53%, 54% of Los Angeles budget goes to the police department.
And there are 19 helicopters.
But 53%, you just go, what? How is that possible that is what our society thinks is right? And more police have been put in and nothing has changed. So after 70 years of more police being added, perhaps that's not the answer.
I thought we could exercise our First Amendment here. That's what the announcement said.
There's nothing going on here.
That's what the announcement said.
There's nothing going on here.
There's nothing going on here. What are you doing? Don't interfere.
All persons must immediately leave the area to the north or the west.
Have you ever been chased by the police before?
65 years old, first time.
First time.
Why did they chase us?
Now that was the freakiest thing to me. That after a whole night of we are protecting your First Amendment rights, you just stay off the curb, you'll be fine. Out of the clear blue sky, this has been declared an illegal gathering.
An unlawful
gathering.
assembly.
And they suddenly were, it was like being wilded. You know, they suddenly swarmed around us. And I have such a vivid image of it. Of them fanning out around me with billy clubs in their hands as I, a 65-year-old woman, go running out of the park.
What effect did that one night have on your stance of police?
Well, yeah, that's clearly, it kind of like solidified my where I am today because of it.
And also to see how military it is and how equipped it is. And how massive, is the response to a small gathering. What were there, maybe 500 people there?
Maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and enough cops to kill us all 10 times over.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so that is not money well spent as far as I'm concerned.